You ladies? Okay. We have minute approval from the regular meeting of October 2nd.
I found it very interesting, and I make a motion we approve them.
Second. John?
Yes.
TJ?
Yes.
Mike? Yes. Okay. We don't have any scheduled guests. Mr. Coons, did you want to address the audience?
If I could, yes.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to thank you. I'm the president of the Chagrin Valley Rotary Club. And we, with the Kenston School issue, we've been booted out of Gardner, and you guys have rescued us. We found a place we can have our meetings, and it's a great facility. We hosted our fundraiser there Saturday night. And I just want to say thanks to the ladies here who've really helped us out, been very generous, and it's just been a good deal. And I just wanted to publicly say thank you, and I think you all want to know how long we'll be here, but yeah. I don't have any idea, but just wanted to say publicly thanks.
You're welcome. We're trying to work with the schools, and, and for this issue, and anything we can do for any of the organizations, that more than willing to help.
We appreciate it, and sometime if you need something that Rotary can do for you, let us know.
Well, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Right.
I think I'm very happy we can help you out, because that's, in my view, that's everybody working together in the community, in the greater Kenston community, so to speak. So one of the reasons we have that facility.
Well, it's a great facility.
Thanks.
Yeah, it looked like you had quite an affair up there. I stopped by
Yeah.
just before it started just to check things out, and it was looked like it was how many people did you end up having?
112. It was an ideal facility on a beautiful Saturday night. It worked out very well. Thanks again.
You're welcome, sir.
If you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure you have other things to do possibly.
Well, you know how it is.
All right, thank you, Bill.
Have a good night.
Okay, scheduled reports, Chief Phillips.
I only have one thing, that's a reminder, cold weather's coming upon us, and make sure that your heating equipment's been serviced properly and your chimney's been cleaned out, and checked by a certified individual, or a qualified individual, so I should say. That time of year when we start getting chimney fires, and we try to prevent that.
Or even better, a certified qualified individual.
Yeah, there you go. That's it for my report.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Everly?
Pretty much have our road projects in the very last stages of finalization. And Emmerich has, we continually all through the year we get what we call RDRs, resident ditching requests, and I think he's down to just a handful or so of those left on the board. And so guys are right now prepping the trucks for winter. And it's a bit of a job because we didn't do it last year because of the fact that we were in the yard, and so there you'll see some requisitions coming through for some truck maintenance issues. We did have to take the truck 16, the small truck, in, and we were having some motor issues with it, and so it turned out they had to put some new injectors on. This thing cost a couple $1,000, but I think we're going to have a couple of air tanks that were the steel air tanks. We've switched to aluminum air tanks, and so I know that 2 of the air tanks need to be repaired. And so some of that stuff's going to come through, and but other than that, a lot of our, like I said, a lot of projects are wound down pretty good. The projects that we, the capital projects, all really came out well this year. We're very pleased. The Taylor May Road project, where we had to coordinate with Bainbridge with the road being out, and we did get our all of our paving done that we wanted to do this, that we planned to do this year, so came out real well. I think that's a testament to be able to do that much paving because most of our paving, other than Auburn Springs Drive, which is a bit of a mess, and the road is so low, there's no drainage, and we did go in there and started doing the full depth repairs this year. And that's a 2-year project that we slated because of the fact that there was so much full depth repair to do. And you have an area there, and we're going to put in, we have 2 culverts that we're going to put in yet for the drainage, because their water actually at some point in time runs backwards. And it's so flat. I mean, in 600 feet, there's maybe 2 inches of fall. So that's not enough. So between, trying to clean the ditches out, getting these full depth repairs in, we'll probably do full depth repair ourselves next year again, and then hopefully we'll get through the winter and find out they all held, and then we'll just do an overlay.
That's the experience we got from doing Ascot.
Yep, absolutely. And but other than that, everything, we're pretty pleased with it all.
Okay. TJ?
Just a couple things. I'll kind of wrap up to the picnic we had up there. We had kind of a close it down meeting the other day, and Nancy had a spreadsheet. I'm sure everybody got one. It was like middle of the week last week or something. That was a cost to the township of just a little north of $4,000 for our bicentennial picnic up there. Crowd estimates were between 500 and 600. Thought it was real successful. So we met because there has been some momentum maybe we're going to do this again next year. We looked at it, the budget for it, and if we had an overall cost of just north of $6,000 this year, we can cut that back by about $1,000 with no problem. Pursue donations, which was kind of a last minute thing this year, but it did go very, very well. I just think it's kind of, if a township of our size now, to have a party in the park once a year, I think is kind of appropriate. So,
Everybody I talked to had a great time, and I'm sure that we probably, not the words out, if we did it again, we could probably exceed the amount we had this year.
that's kind of the one thing we thought that we don't do this very often, but we're going to try to do it again. If we could just find 2 people on a committee to kind of raise some funds, go see your Preston Chevrolets or your bigger companies, and as well as a lot of individuals this year, and we did the thank you, montage for them the other day, which you guys are not going to talk about, but the donations were greatly appreciated, and certainly would make it go next year. But the gross expenses north of 6, we can come in right at 5, I'm sure, and do a good 4 or 5 hour.
I think we
Event.
do get a committee, like you said, and start getting donations early.
So there's
the word out.
that. Like I said, she's got that spreadsheet somewhere. Mine's at home. I've got notes all over it. But the other thing, there was one fatality up there at that picnic, and that was our beloved popcorn machine. I think that's become a thing now, so I think we're going to look to replace that or fix it. Early estimates are $600-700 for repairs. Now that machine, we've had that. We think it came out of Corny's, no, Chuck's. Daskasill's Chuck's down here at the corner. And of course, sat in a museum for, 20 years? Major cleanup.
I'm all for getting a new one.
Well, we would, but it was an afterthought. Hey, why don't we see if this thing works? And lo and behold, after we cleaned it up, it worked. Then it's become kind of-
But I'm just saying, since the pot broke, I'm sure there's some refinements that have been made in the last 35 years.
They do, and I've come across a couple of these, like these little auction barn kind of things, and they bring $1,200 to $1,500 for a decent sized one like
Yeah.
that. So that's where we're at, and she's gonna start looking and see what we can come up with. So,
Okay, good.
that's all.
Okay, Fred?
Have your regular reports in front of you, gentlemen, including your payment listing and warrants 3983 through 4108, totaling $251,073.61. Of note on there is warrant 4092 to Chagrin Valley Paving for $227,748.10. I believe that was for Taylor May C&D. Also on there is the Medical Mutual premium payment of $15,368. Yes, you have your fund summary report, your revenue summary report, and your appropriation summary report. I need to ask the board for supplemental appropriations. Under Resolution 2017-30, I'll read it into the record. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Auburn Township, Geauga County, Ohio, that the board finds it necessary to make the following supplemental appropriation to the Fire Levy Fund and the Road and Bridge Fund. These are both for tax collection fees. $2,105.27 to account number 2191-220-314 for tax collection fees. $700 to account 2031-330-314 for tax collection fees. And that is the resolution.
Okay. So moved.
Second.
John,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
that's all I have.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, I forgot I was on my notes here. Two other things we did get done. We did this next lift, the medium lift, middle lift in the driveway up into the park. And then we also had them do berm with asphalt grindings. And at the same time, we bermed Auburn Lakes Drive. And Auburn Lakes Drive was bermed when it was paved a couple years ago, but they must have a little trouble staying on the road because one side of the thing just needed to be re-bermed the whole time. But that was all taken care of last week, so put that down, put the good thread.
Okay. Just got a couple items. One, we got a letter from the Kenston Schools. It says, "Dear Mr. Troyan, the district is fortunate to receive outstanding assistance from the Auburn Fire Department when our students and facility are in need. Such was the case in the incident that occurred at Kenston Middle School. We appreciate the partnership and collaboration of our community and its officials." So thank you, Chief, and the fire department for helping them out there.
I'll let the guy,
And I got a call from Nick Ciafani with Dave Joyce's office. Okay, now he's getting all this confirmed. As you know, there was a number of correspondence back and forth, and that was regarding the mailboxes and the repairs. And then the Chagrin Falls Post Office said, well, we got parts on back order, and well, what it turns out is they got to the bottom of it, and actually Auburn Lakes owns those mailboxes. Those are their property. After all that. So he's trying to get at the bottom of, okay, then why have you dragged it out for 6 months telling people that it was yours when it's not? So Nick had already contacted Auburn Lakes, Ed Ryder and David Consolo, to let them know that that is the situation. So now they can at least go forward and get these things repaired.
That doesn't fare too good with the post office, does it?
No. Okay, and then new business. We have a recommendation from the Geauga County engineer that the first payment to Chagrin Valley Paving of $214,007.90 for the asphalt resurface of Taylor May Road. Okay. So I'll make a motion to go ahead and pay that.
And put the emphasis on that's the first invoice.
Correct. First invoice. It says specifically in here in his letter, please note this is not the final invoice.
Okay, I'll second.
Okay.
Your vote.
Hold on. Take your time, Fred. Those big pens are tricky.
John,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Okay. And then we have to approve a change order for the asphalt resurface various roads in Auburn Township, Chagrin Valley Paving. Original contract was $266,925. Revised contract is $272,064.20. And that is a $5,139 increase. And specifically on the contract, there were 3 additions. Some full depth repairs, asphalt concrete surfacing. That came out to $13,740.20. And then there were deductions of wear course 339, attack code $582, asphalt concrete intermediate course $3,087.50. And asphalt concrete surface course for the driveways, $3,780. And compacted aggregate, $812.50. And that came up with the total change of the $5,000.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the change order.
Can I get a second?
Second.
John,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Okay, and then we have a recommendation from the Geauga County engineer. Second and final payment to Chagrin Valley Paving of $13,740.20 for the asphalt resurface various roads in Auburn Township.
Second.
John,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Okay, Fred, do you have these two resolutions? 31 and 32?
Okay, that's for issue 2, grant money through OPWC. I think we're the second project out, be on the list of the cutoff. That's Lake Jaga Ashtabula Portage. There certainly have been cases in the past where projects have been deferred, so the money goes back into the pot, and maybe the next line item or two has been funded. So they want us to fill out all the paperwork in case that situation comes to pass.
Okay, and on this resolution, we have to certify a member of the board as chief executive officer and certifying representative to apply for the Ohio Public Works Commission State Grant Improvement Program. I would recommend that Mr. Everly fill that position for us.
And a motion?
That's a motion.
I'll second that motion.
What's his title again?
Chief Executive Officer and Certifying Representative.
John?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. Mr. Everly, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Okay, are we dating this, or?
Looks like it. Oh, wait. Is it for a vote?
I don't know, so I'm asking you. You're our paperwork guy.
That's your vote. Yea or nay? Or yes or no?
Okay. All right. Keep that with it. You gonna take a vote on that, or?
On the resolution,
Yes.
Resolution 2017-31, authorizing John Everly to serve as the CEO and certifying representative.
Correct.
John?
Yes.
You get to vote? Okay, PJ.
PJ.
Yeah, we voted yes.
Got it.
This is resolution of necessity, all right?
Right. Okay, what's our number on resolution of necessity? Is that 2017-32? Okay, resolution of convenience and necessity for the improvement of Taylor May Road, TR 186, Section E. Whereas the Auburn Township Board of Trustees has determined that the public convenience and welfare require the improvement of Taylor May Road, TR 186, Section E, from Munn Road, CH 32, to Auburn Road, CH 4, in Auburn Township, and to authorize Geauga County Engineer to prepare engineering plans in accordance with Section 557301 of the Ohio Revised Code. Now therefore be it resolved by unanimous vote of the Board of Public Convenience and Welfare requiring these improvements by repairing the existing pavement and embankments, replacing culverts, improving drainage structures, subgrade stabilization, asphalt resurfacing, stabilizing the shoulders, and related improvements as necessary. Be it further resolved that Geauga County Engineer is hereby directed to make such surveys, plans, profiles, cross-sections, estimates, and specifications as are required for the improvements, and to transmit copies of the same to this board. Be it further resolved that the cost and expenses of said improvements shall be apportioned as follows. The right-of-way costs, if any, and the construction costs for this project shall be paid from local funding sources and state grants, and our loan funds should they be available for this project. The engineering will be provided by the Geauga County Engineer at no cost to the township. Be it further resolved that the fiscal officer of the board is hereby instructed to transmit a certified copy of this resolution to Geauga County Engineer. I'll make the motion.
Second.
John,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Okay. We have a joint maintenance agreement draft for Snow and Shaw Roads. It's been sent to us from Troy Township, and this is based on input we had at our last meeting. Any comments, changes?
Yeah, well, yeah, we're gonna keep it with, we take care of Shaw and they take care of Snow primarily. And,
Right, these are all.
yeah, there was some suggestion that we do some trade-off annually, which was,
No, I'll read the current agreement.
Yeah, I think that's the best idea.
Okay, here's their proposed agreement. Let me know if you have any. Joint maintenance agreement. This joint maintenance agreement is entered into between the Board of Trustees of Troy Township, Geauga County, Ohio, hereinafter referred to as Troy, the Board of Trustees of Auburn Township, Geauga County, Ohio, hereinafter referred to as Auburn, collectively referred to as the parties. The parties agree to furnish and provide total maintenance, ice control, and snow plowing for Shaw Road and Snow Road as follows. 1. Shaw Road, Auburn will snow plow and ice control the entire length of Shaw Road to Fox Road. Snow Road, Troy will snow plow and ice control the total length of Snow Road in both Auburn and Troy Township. The parties will be responsible for their own ditching according to county specifications, and the parties will be responsible for their own tree trimming on their respective side of the above-mentioned roads. Monthly electricity costs from the street light at Shaw Road and Route 22, if any, will be shared by the parties. Major improvements and maintenance to the above roads will be shared and agreed upon between the parties. Minor improvements to the above-mentioned roads under the amount of $1,000 do not need to be discussed. The parties will be responsible for maintaining their own right-of-way for proper drainage. The road inventory system will be used to determine the road miles. This joint maintenance agreement will be in effect until one of the parties notifies the other in writing of their intent to withdraw, a new agreement is reached, or the agreement is voided by law.
Okay, the light at the end of the road, we've been paying for since day one. And I discovered that when I did the light audit 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. So I think that, they should pay for half of that, yeah.
Okay. Now, the only comment I had on this, and again, it's just in the way it's written, in the line on Snow Road, it says Troy will snow plow and ice control the total length of Snow Road in both Auburn and Troy Township. The comment in both Auburn and Troy Township, I'd like to put that also in the
Shaw Road.
Shaw Road also.
Okay.
Because that makes them both
That makes it
exactly the same. So
uniform.
that was the only comment that I
Right.
had. So, we want to approve the amendment as
I I say we could prove it as
redline?
redline.
Okay, then we can do is,
And basically, this is what it was.
right,
Yeah,
so I have no problem with it.
yeah.
All right, so I will
Mark your change on that one.
make the motion to approve the agreement as amended. We'll send it back to them to put our addition in. They can then sign it, send it to us, and we can sign it back to them. That's my motion.
Second.
John,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes. Okay, I read that on there. Okay,
I had something I want to throw into new business. You know, we had a discussion here back several months ago. It's a bit of an issue for some of the maintenance on the trails and whatnot in the park. When you go to, and we do have trees that fall down, and it's odd because they only fall down at the far end of the woods path. In other words, it's a half-mile walk with any tools or anything to get back there. We also need to go in there and rake it. And what's been happening so far is Mike has brought his own personal tractor in and his own York rake and raked the paths. And I think that's a little bit beyond the scope of a employee's duties. And so we had some talk about, you know, getting some implements, small implements maybe like that, to do this maintenance up there. So I've been asking them to think a little bit. The other issue is we put a lot of miles on the wee truck, which isn't really a wee truck. We did have a discussion, very briefly, but I think I'd like you guys to consider, you know, I think it's time that the township get a small pickup truck or something, rather than using their personal vehicles, which actually are rather costly when we're out fetching things out, you know, from various vendors. There's two issues coming up there. We do have still the old Ford tractor, the whatever that N is, when you 9N maybe, and to pull something to go back into there, you know, to the far end of the park. But I think we need to maybe think about getting some implements, trailer, York rake maybe, some things like that.
you know, I think you can see a recommendation from the road crew
Yeah.
on what they feel
Yeah,
would be
well, I
the
think
best to do.
they're looking for us to say that we think that's a good idea.
that, and I'm just speaking from my own knowledge, but I think that tractor is about a 1954 or 5.
Yeah, that was a good year though.
And, I've got one about the same vintage. But if you ever wanted to put anything on it that used hydraulics or, you know,
Oh, yeah,
a
we,
loader or
there's no
hydraulics.
additional, it just has its own 3-point. It's
Yeah,
live.
you would,
There's no
you
remote
know,
hydraulic.
it'd be,
They,
it
they're,
would make sense to put a,
what they
back
really
on.
would rather do, they'd like to nurse that through for a little while, Fred. Really what we need is a mini excavator. And that's really what we need to do. And for these driveway ditches and for digging graves, so that you don't make such a mess, it'd be go in there and get, and I think it's called a 350. 350 size. It's kind of a, it's not the biggest, but it's
Is that
not
like
the
Kubota
smallest.
or something? A Kubota?
There's all of those guys, they have a range. It's
35 is what you're looking
Is
at.
that what it is, John? 30. So anyway, that's something that they really think would be advantageous for us to use. You know, we rented one 3 times this summer. And the problem always is, and it happened this summer, the first time we rented it, we couldn't really get all the use out of it because it was raining. And so the next time we really could use one, they didn't have one. And so it's one of those things that I think, you know, if you look at the cost of it versus every time you take it out, I mean, they're going to get a lot of service out of something like that. But, you know, it's not always, we've rented one probably the last 3 years now. And the biggest savings is going to come in labor. And, you know, if you start having to put overtime into these projects because you got to get this thing back all the time, all of a sudden that those wages add up to be big numbers. They add up to be big numbers. And so there's 2 things that, you know, I think budget-wise, I'd rather look to try to get a mini excavator next year, but perhaps get some of these small, inexpensive add-on tools for the park, because we're going to need them in the spring.
Okay.
And it is you know, it's a beautiful walk, but try doing it carrying a chainsaw, and you shoot a whole day.
I think short term, let's approve the project for the guys to evaluate and come up with
For
what
both
piece of
sets.
equipment they're gonna get the most use out of. Not only the park, but the cemeteries and stuff.
You know, this trail's always choked up with
Well,
dead
we
pine
could
trees,
move it,
too.
we
Yeah.
could, yeah.
Always.
And the tree only falls the farthest point.
That's the way it works.
That's where we've had to haul the gravel to, the farthest
You
point.
know, those pine trees are well past their prime up here.
Yeah, well, they're
That
gonna
was
be
a-
continually
yeah,
falling down.
yeah.
And, so anyway, that's something that the guys wanted me to,
Okay,
Bring
well,
it
I'll
up
make
to
the
you
motion
guys.
to have them look into the project and then come up with some budgetary figures for next year's budget.
okay.
Sure.
Does that sound good for you, Fred?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
For trail maintenance, et cetera.
We've been lucky lately.
We could have grubbed out all this poison ivy back here
Exactly.
with this fence too, and something like that.
Well, we've been lucky, you know, we're not having as many full burials. It's not the trend right now, but there's been, I think, there's been several.
Well, fashion changes.
And, you know, the maintenance is expensive to do that, put all the, you know, fill in, especially in a winter one. It's, you gotta do a lot of repair work.
So that was second from PJ. John,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Okay. Carl, if we could bother you once again, because of your credibility and impartial method of doing this.
Good looks.
Thank you. Yeah, that too.
Okay, and again, this is the drawing for the Where is Bildad Bradley for a bicentennial plate. Okay. And the winner is Carolyn Kesmarsik Utsi. And I don't have her address here, but she says at Thorpe Road, so
We'll find her.
we'll find her.
Hey, maybe we could have another contest.
Okay.
Oh, she must have saw him just before he got snatched.
Timing is everything.
629 on Thorpe Road.
Thank you, Carl, you did well again.
You're welcome.
Okay, public comment. Diane?
Yes, 3 issues, and 2 of them involve Chagrin Valley paving. And I noticed on the warrants, there is number 4064 for $258,224, and that would appear to be the difference between the $272,064 and the $13,740. Am I right?
I'm
So
sorry, I
it's-
was
Okay,
finishing up my minutes here.
all right, so the question is, warrant 4064, is that the result of the final bid for various roads minus the second payment on that? And I need an answer because there's another question about Chagrin Valley paving.
Chagrin Valley paving. 10. And you were asking if it is the difference
The
between...
difference between the revised bid, the
With the change
272, yada, yada, minus the final payment of 13,000.
With the change order minus the final
Yeah,
payment?
yeah,
I believe so. I would have to look at the warrant on that.
okay. So that's reasonable and it sounds plausible.
Mhm.
Okay, so then the next question is, the other reference to Chagrin Valley paving on Taylor May, the $214,007.90, that has not yet become due and payable, is that correct?
We did make a payment, I believe, on the Taylor Made project.
Okay, all right, I must have missed that, maybe that was in the previous meeting. Okay, all right, so that takes care of Taylor May.
Yeah, that was the first one we covered, the 214,007.90.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, the other question involves, Mr. Troyan, you referenced what constituted the increase in the change order. And I thought I was reasonably correct in getting those numbers down there. There were 5 different items. When I added them up, they came up to be $8,600. So somewhere I misunderstood or I didn't hear correctly. Would appreciate a further elaboration about that.
Okay. Okay, the original contract was $266,925.
Right,
We had additions of $13,740.20,
right.
and then deductions of $86.01.
Okay, okay, I get it. Good, thank you. And the final comment has to do with warrant 4080, which is a payment to Hummel of $107,957.77, and I'm just curious that the service garage was completed. I'm curious, is this payment, is this in regard to Adam Hall, or is this in regard to service garage?
Which payment was that?
4080, I think I got it right. So it's Hummel Construction for almost 108,000.
This would have been off of the last report.
Yep, yeah.
That would be for Adam Hall.
Okay. That does it for me, thank you.
Okay, any other public comment? Come on, you guys gotta have something. Tell us what a great job we're doing.
It's really great. I'm having a
Hey,
good time.
good job. Okay, if there are no further comments,
You're doing a great job, too. Thank you.
Good job, Mike.
thanks, Fred. Okay, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Now, before we adjourn, how's our cows doing?
Our cows,
Are they getting ready for market, or? No?
you lost me. Only got about 500.
Okay.
Second.
All right, John,
Yeah.
PJ,
Yep.
Mike,
Yes.
I
8:15.
mentioned to him, but he didn't,
Okay.